Hello, traveler, and welcome back to my series where I fully recreate my cookbook, the CopperSpoon Chronicles, to get back in touch with my artistic and creative side. Today, we are going on to Chapter 4, A CopperSpoon Quest. Not only did I say that all in one breath, but I remembered what the chapter title was. If you watched last week's video, you'll know. Hello, if you are new here, here's everything you need to know to get caught up with this series. My name's Emily Duscher, and I wrote a cookbook, but it's not like any cookbook you've ever seen before. While it does have over 80 recipes, it also is a full-fledged fantasy story following our main character, Cob CopperSpoon. I'm setting out to recreate the actual leather tome that she would have brought along with her on her adventures. With all that being said, let's actually get into this week's project. I'm not gonna lie, Chapter 4 is going to be a doozy. This is the biggest chapter that we have seen yet. Not only are these recipes more complicated, there's just more of them in general. We have about 1.5 pages of actual writing to do, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 recipes, but 2 of those recipes have multiple things that go into it. So this chapter is going to be a doozy. I do have a recipe planned out that I am going to be making this week that I am super excited about. But I'm not going to spoil it. You're just going to have to watch the video to find out what that's going to be. Now, this isn't the biggest journaling session of the entire cookbook, but we're starting to get into more and more story. This specific journaling section, I think what I want to do is I want to actually doodle the artwork first and then do the doodle entry afterwards. I have mostly just been writing everything down first, and then if there's space left over on the page, I'll draw something. And that's worked out great so far. But stylistic wise, I just haven't gotten as much artwork as I want to get in there necessarily. And so I think in this one, we're going to attempt to recreate the doodle that's in the actual cookbook. I think it's a really cute doodle. It fits pretty perfectly in this section. And so we're going to do that first and then write around it. In this section of the cookbook, Cob CopperSpoon has finally made it to the Violet Bastion. Now, the Violet Bastion is essentially like the biggest city in the realm that Cob CopperSpoon is adventuring in. And so there are a ton of people here. She grew up in a very tiny village with only other halflings, so she's starting to see new people like Minotaur and Goliaths and gnomes and just all different types of people that she's never seen before. Not only that, but she is experiencing food that she's never seen before. So in this chapter, Cob CopperSpoon decides that she is going to give herself a quest because she doesn't know where to find one anywhere else. And her quest is to go to every single tavern in town and try their best dishes. I don't make exclusively taverny style recipes. I don't think that one sort of cuisine belongs in fantasy. I think all sorts of cuisine belongs in fantasy. But if you want a good classic tavern style recipe, this is the chapter for you. There's pot pies and stews and soups, and there's even stuffed potato skins. This essentially is going to be the chapter where you think, oh yeah, you'd find that food at a pub. I am very, very excited for the recipe I'm going to do. I'm very, very excited for the artwork in this section. I really want to sit down and put some time into the artwork. So, with all that being said, I think we're ready to get started. Make sure you're getting settled in, traveler, because we have a cookbook to make. In case anybody was wondering, I do typically listen to music or watch YouTube or listen to a podcast or something while I am doing this crafting, which seems a little bit counterproductive because listening to words go into your brain while writing words down is definitely sometimes confusing, and I will say I do think it's tripped me up a couple of times. But tonight I decided I was going to listen to music as opposed to actually watch anything, and I just figured I'd show you what I was listening to. So if you want to listen to my playlist that I made, you can check the description below if you're into that sort of thing. I always start my drawings out with a sketch, and I wish I could say I had a lighter hand, but unfortunately I just am really heavy-handed when it comes to actual drawings. But I have decided that I'm not going to be super critical of myself, and if there are some lead lines underneath the ink and the painting, then it's not the end of the world. But I really spent a decent amount of time on this drawing, and I really, really enjoy how it came out. I think the painting of it especially came out very vibrant and colorful, and I just really enjoy it, and I think that it fit on this page really well. I was very happy with the decision to actually draw the drawing first and then add the writing around it. And I think I will continue to do that throughout the project on pages where I feel like it fits right. On this back page, I really just wanted to doodle. I used to do pen drawings all the time. I would make mistakes and then I would turn those mistakes into new drawings. And I kind of just wanted to go with that vibe. So it is very, very messy and scratchy. And this isn't the best drawing that I've ever done in my life. It was also very interesting drawing in this style with a calligraphy pen as opposed to just your normal standard ballpoint pen. But I overall really enjoyed how it came out. I added in a couple of Easter eggs, almost, if you will. This one tavern that we have here on the left side, I emulated after my good friends, the Smoking Barrel. They have a tavern that they run on TikTok and Instagram, and it's just so lovely, and I love their page, so I kind of wanted to do a little shout out to them with this sort of barrel-shaped building. And yeah, I'm pleased with how it came out. I don't think it's the best drawing in the world by any means, but I think that it was very cute for this page, and I think it was just a very fun process, not worrying about if it was going to look perfect. Hello, travelers. How are you doing today? It is officially day 2 of working on this cookbook project, and I am officially a little bit behind. Last night I really just kind of like dug down, zoned in, and focused on getting the journal portion of this chapter fully finished. I really, really like how both of the different pieces of artwork came out. One of the pieces of artwork, as you saw, was a copy from the cookbook, but the second piece of artwork was never there originally, and I just kind of like sketched like I normally would. It's been a while since I've just sat down and like doodled, sketched, just did whatever came to mind. So it was really, really fun and I really enjoy how it came out. But because I spent so much time on the journal page, I didn't get the recipes done that I was planning to get done. The recipe that I'm going to be making for you guys today are the sampler spuds. It is a flight of potato skins that are each stuffed with their own unique flavor combination. So there's a charcuterie one, there's a sriracha chicken one, and then there is a breakfast one with eggs and bacon and cheese and all things delicious. Unfortunately, in this specific chapter, it is relatively important that all of the recipes go in the correct order. So I can't just skip to doing the spuds as the first recipe in this section. I have to go by chronological order, or else the story that goes along with the recipes isn't going to make sense. And of course, I'm getting a late start in this, so it's around 6 o'clock my time. With everything officially set in place, the best thing to do now is get started and write quickly because the sun is going down and I have a lot to do before I can make those potatoes. We should probably go and get started. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, I ended up getting started after the sun had fully set. Oh, don't ask me why or how this happened. I don't even remember. This is weeks later at this point, so it did happen. I ended up writing down the recipes first, and then the next day I just came back through, made the potatoes. Was I behind? But maybe. But I ended up getting everything done, and I'm very, very excited to share the potato recipe with you still because they are very cute. I actually don't even think I finished the recipes this night. I think I got through one recipe. I think I got through half of a recipe. Oh my gosh, I only got through half of a recipe, and then we fully just next day did everything. Wow. You know, don't... Planning is hard, okay, people? And at the end of the day, we got it done. So kudos, right? We're gonna give kudos to me. It got done, and it looked cool and good, right? Okay, let's just and just enjoy the rest of the video. By the way, this little corner with like the carrots and potatoes and mushrooms, I mean, this whole page might be the cutest thing I've done this entire time. I don't know why this came out so good, but I absolutely love how these little sketched out potatoes and carrots and onions and stuff look on this page, and I just wanted to say I thought it looked cute. Okay, go. Okay, bye. We are finally getting to the part where I am making the potatoes. I realized I filmed this in vertical because I'm used to posting short form content, not long form content. So I'm sorry it doesn't take up the full screen, but I do think it turned out very, very well. I think that the potatoes looked beautiful and they tasted really good. And so if you want the full recipe for these potatoes, let me know and I can post an actual tutorial on here sometime. But I think it was just a very fun little side project to actually drawing out the cookbook, and it kind of like broke up the monotony of just like writing pages over and over and over again. I actually got to kind of like make something, do something with my hands, and I got a nice little snack out of it. So this is an official trigger warning for anybody with trypophobia. I'm about to cut into garlic, and garlic stereotypically triggers people with trypophobia because it has a bunch of little dots and stuff in it. I'm also going to be squishing out roasted garlic from here later, so if you are not into that sort of thing, you can go ahead and skip forward a couple of minutes and you should be solid at that point. There should be nothing gross or icky for you. I personally love the garlic smushing out of the thing. I think it's very satisfying, but that's me. So at this point, while the potatoes were baking, I just went ahead and wrote out the whole recipe. I have found that it's really hard to write at the same time as doing whichever step it is in the process. That's just not really how my brain works. I don't normally use a recipe or write down my recipes for that matter. So for me, it's been easier to just write everything down. And what I did in this circumstance was I just left spaces open where I would be able to fit the drawings. I think I spaced this out really, really well this whole time, and I'm hoping that I can continue to do that throughout this whole project because I really, really love how this page came out. It was just a matter of being intentional of how I wanted to kind of map it out and have it look before I started going in and writing everything. I am normally very much a fly by the seat of your pants type of person, just kind of wing it the whole time. So it's been interesting putting so much thought and planning into everything, but I think that it is definitely come out better and more intentional when I've actually taken the time to slow down, stop, and make sure it is kind of coming out the way I want it to. The filling of these potatoes, I just put a bunch of bacon bits and cheddar cheese on them and butter, and I fed them to my fiance as essentially deconstructed baked potatoes because he loves baked potatoes, but he doesn't like the skins of baked potatoes. And it was really, really delicious. Objectively, potentially, maybe even more delicious than the potato skins. So, if you are doing something like this and making a bunch of different flavors of potato skins, be sure to save this as a side because it truly is delicious. I have a confession to make. This is brie, and typically I love brie. I have always loved brie, especially I have loved baked brie with like honey and like a crusty bread to eat with it. So good. But this specific brand just doesn't melt well anymore. So instead of a brie, I would actually suggest replacing this with a camembert. A camembert is going to be similar to a brie. I think it's going to melt a little bit better than this does though, because I made this and I baked it for like 15 minutes, and even in these small slices they just didn't melt the way I wanted it to melt. So that was definitely very disappointing, but if I can save you the trouble, this is brie. Don't use brie, use like a camembert or just something that melts a little better. And that is my suggestion of the day. Also, these jumbo eggs were far too big for the potatoes that I had. These potatoes are relatively small, and the jumbo eggs just fully leaked out of them. So I suggest if you're doing this, just use an egg that looks like it will fit within your potato. Either that or I just kind of like wiped up the excess egg with a paper towel so that it didn't get everywhere. But definitely do as I say and don't, not as I do, because this was a little bit of a mess, but it still came out delicious, or so I hear, because I don't like eggs, and so I forced our friends to eat it. So yeah, just use small eggs. At this point, I just set aside one of each of the different potato skins to use as a drawing reference. I think this worked out so well. I absolutely loved this. It was so cool having like the physical thing right in front of me to use as a drawing reference. I don't do this very often. And I just had a lot of fun with it. I think it came out really well as well. And I had a nice little snack for when I was done actually drawing them. So it was very cool and very fun. Well, hello, traveler. Come here often. I'm just gonna get comfortable. Hello. This page is very new, so many of you probably haven't even noticed, but this video did go up a little late. And I just want to show up to apologize and explain myself a little bit. On June 9th, for the first time ever, Brett and I actually vended our food at a local Tuesday market event. It's like a little miniature farmers market that happens at the fairground of our town. And it was super fun. We ended up doing really well and selling a lot, and it was amazing. And for a moment, I was going to film the process of setting that up and decorating the tent and selling to everybody. And then I just decided that I was very stressed out and I was on a time crunch and I just didn't feel like making content out of it, which is bad content creator, but here we are. The reality is, this page doesn't monetize anything, and neither do my other big social medias like TikTok and Instagram. The only income we get from being full time content creators is from ad deals. And especially with AI and TikTok Shop offering commissions and a bunch of other factors, we just haven't gotten any ad deals lately, which means we haven't been making as much money from this, at least enough that we need to keep it sustainable. And that's okay. I'm honestly so grateful that I just get to sit here and say that this is what I get to do for a living. And we're getting by. We're doing fine. But I think the thing I'm trying to get at here is we're not always going to be able to post videos consistently because sometimes opportunities for us working and making money are going to take precedence over posting videos. Now here's the thing is if you love what we do here and if you really want to support the page, there's a couple of things that you can do that are free and easy, and it looks like just watching the video all the way to the end, liking and commenting and sharing the video with your friends. And it's not a big thing, but it does definitely help the page out. And if you would like to see these videos on a more consistent basis with regular scheduled posting, then that would be a huge way to show your support and help out. I know that the world is crazy right now and not everybody has the funds to actually give monetarily. But if you're somebody who has a little extra cash, we do also have a Patreon. And our Patreon, the lowest tier starts at $3 a month, and you get early access to a bunch of content. You get a full archive of written recipes at some of the tiers. There is our podcast High Fantasy that it goes on over there, where my fiance and I imbibe in just a little bit of Hobbit pipe weed and we talk about all things fantasy. It's a very fun time. And so if you would like to support the page, you can go check out our Patreon, even if you join as a free member over there. Every little bit helps. And I want to emphasize I am really trying not to complain. I'm not asking you to give me money, but if you would like to support the page and if you would like to see these videos more frequently on a more consistent basis, then that is a way that you can show your support to us here at the Copper Spoon. I am very bad at self promo. I do not want to be the creator who is just selling you a product with every single video and asking you to spend money, spend money, spend money. But at the end of the day, if we don't have enough subscribers here on YouTube, don't have enough watch hours, aren't making any money from the view retention, then the videos are going to slow down and I'm not going to be able to make as much content as I have been doing. So if you even watched this section of the video, if you're even here and still listening, I just want to give you a big shout out and a big thank you because it really does mean the world just you listening and being here for us. These videos do take a lot of work and I absolutely love doing them and I want to continue to do them for you. So any support that you're able to show, any comment that you leave, any like on a video goes so far, and I just want you to know how grateful I am. Thank you so much to Minnie, who is our highest Patreon tier member. Big shout out to you, as well as all of our other Patreon members who are already supporting us over there. Thank you so much for letting me take the time out of this video to do a little self-sponsor segment. But with that, I'm going to send you back over to crafting and more fun, Emily, and we're going to finish up the rest of this cookbook project. I love you all so much, and I hope you enjoyed, Traveler. So for this recipe, it's actually combined with the pillow bread recipe in the cookbook, and they each have their own separate drawing image, but I was actually able to kind of condense these recipes down, fit all of the adventurer's comfort onto one page, and then all of the pillow bread recipe on the next 2 pages. So instead of giving them each individual pictures, I just decided to draw the soup and the bread together, because technically how it's written in the story, they're served together anyways. So I thought it would look fine if I just kind of combined them and did them at the same time. And I do really enjoy how this came out. I think it fit really well, and I think it looked really good. And I actually really think that the drawing came out super cute. I gave the little bowl a smiley face and little like blushing cheeks, and I think it was adorable. It was definitely very weird jumping back into this project after not working on it for a couple of weeks. Not weird, I guess, but just it was intimidating. I was worried that all of the progress that I made with like the calligraphy pen, getting used to that, just the times it took for drying the paint versus using the ink on it, I was definitely very worried that I was going to be too rusty and I was going to regress, but I was actually thoroughly pleased. I think it came out really well. I do think I could have spent some more time on the drawings, but at this point I was just trying to get it done so that I could post on time for you guys here, at least relatively on time. With this final recipe complete, it's time for the final reveal. All right, with that fully finished and completed, we are done with this section. I love how this section came out. There's a couple of pages that I like more than the others. When I started writing out chapter 4, I really decided I was going to take my time on this and I was really going to give it my best effort. So I think this first picture, this first page that I did, probably came out the best just because I really dedicated myself towards making it as good as possible. And then as we kind of go later on in the chapter, I definitely was in a little bit more of a rush. The quality of both like the art and the writing could have been a little bit better, but overall I'm very happy with how it came out. I also really love how these spuds came out. I thought it was so fun actually remaking that recipe and then using the physical like potatoes that were sitting in front of me as a drawing reference. And because of that, I think these drawings came out really well. So I want to continue to do that in the future. I want to keep remaking some of the recipes. I'm probably not going to be able to remake all of them, which is what it is, but I don't know if I can recook the entire cookbook at this point. But I think even just making some of them, really using the actual physical like food item as a reference, is going to be really fun, and I really enjoyed making that page in particular. But overall, I think that this chapter came out really well. It took up exactly half of this packet, and I'm thinking the next chapter is going to take up the rest of it. So that's very exciting. We are well on our way. Chapter 4 is done and we have about 29 left to go. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on what your favorite part was. Thank you so much again to our highest tier Patreon member, Minnie. Your support means the world to us, as well as all of our other Patreon members who support us over there. It really helps keep the page going. And make sure you subscribe and follow and do all the things. And if you would like to get your hands on your own copy of the CopperSpoon Chronicles, check the description down below so you can actually follow along with all of the recipes that we are making and writing down for this cookbook project. I think I'm going to end it there. Thank you all so much, travelers. I love you, I appreciate you, and we will see you again next time. Bye-bye!